Nice. Okay, let's do it. Reysbull in the blue, CRR in the orange. They are teammates every weekend that they... Well, every weekend they have RLCS, they're teammates. I guess they're teammates every weekend they're not. They do have RLCS as well. But tonight, they are enemies. And as I've formally declared on Twitter, the loser of this match has to do the dishes at their next boot camp. So no doubt, the loser of this is just going to be ordering takeaway meals with no cutlery. no cutlery, no plates. That's a real life hack there. Just if you never have to do the dishes if you don't actually have dishes. Pro tip. And yeah, Jan and Zapatos are going to be after this one. Since the previous match was a 3-0, we were able to sneak another one in between. So here we are. Ahmad Alkandari, thanks for the gifted us up to Oa. Welcome, Oa. And Kicker CR, thanks for the 8-month tier 1. Welcome back. Gleneth, thanks for the 3-month prime. So, the only time these guys have played was during Gamers 8. Well, the only time that these guys have 1v1'd, I should say, was during Gamers 8. That's a fantastic recovery by Raysbull. Well played. And the winner of that match was Reysbull. So, CRR really wanting his revenge today. Yeah, let me change the title. Hold on. Oh, not a lot of confidence in that near post shot there from CRR. I would have expected him to just absolutely kablooter that top corner, but he decided not to. Went to play the careful approach instead, and that has led to a boost advantage for him, but he's going to need to use a lot of that to work that air dribble into the scoring position. It hasn't worked out. So yeah, bad takeoff there by CRR as he was trying to get an air dribble started. Meant that he had to waste all of his boost that he had in the bag. Yeah, it's a new shot. It's a new type of shot. It's like modern day boomer, you know? Used to be a boomer. Clean pick up there from Reysbull, sorry. CRR caught out of position. Not sure who I would have predicted at the start of this match. Now that I've seen a bit, I mean, I'm already leaning more towards Reysbull. Just the knowledge that he's beaten CRR in Gamers 8, the one time that they played. It was a 6-4 scoreline. It was just one game. So, very close game. But that combined with the strong start he's got here really makes you think that Reysbull might just have his number today. Reysbull, just another one of those South American players who picked up 1v1 recently and immediately became world class at it. I forget, Reysbull was in, wasn't he in, what was Rizzo and James Bott's 1v1 LAN called? I can't even remember right now. I've totally blanked on the name. Turf Wars. Wasn't Reysbull in Turf Wars? I think he finished 3rd, right? He lost out to Lion Blaze AJ, I believe. I think he finished 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's up there. He's definitely up there. You've always got to, you know, put Daniel up there for NA, first skiller probably if he was active, but he rarely is recently. Yeah, Lion Blaze, AJ, Daniel. Really, the only guys who are, you know, definitely above Reysbull in the rankings. He's way up there. You know, Jackson NA now as well, and Jan, so you've got to put them above him, but they've not been too active in tournaments yet. Oh dear, CRR had a great chance there with the double tap. He's missed the boost as well. You know, a couple of little things going wrong here for CRR. First, missing on a double tap that, you know, looked like it should be a goal for him. I think he did the hard part, just got the easy bit wrong, and now misses a mid boost and ends up conceding not long afterwards. What is AJG saying here? We've got CRR and Reysbull's teammate in chat. By the way, I never asked, I never did any investigation on this topic, and I never really heard. It might have been made public, but what was the reason for Shad being... Did Complexity give a reason for Shad being benched? Was he benched, or did he leave? Did he want to go back to Argentina? Do you guys know? Maybe AJG knows. But yeah, I didn't hear personally. if it was because Shad wanted to go back or because they were like needing a change. Okay, well, CRR's going to get another goal here. Bit of a mistake from Reysbull on that one. Did not predict which side CRR was going to hit the ball. You don't know if you can tell. Okay, well, no pressure to tell. I was just asking if the reason was public. Jigsaw goal explosions in the shop. Is that what that was? Is it actually just Jigsaw? Surely they haven't like, you can't have a Jigsaw partnership with Rocket League. E for everyone. Also, Saw. It isn't public yet? Okay, yeah. In that case, I'm not behind in any public information. Nice little mind game there from CRI. He's got a bit of space to work with. Not a ton of boost to work with, though. I think Reysbull knew that. Closed the distance from a safe angle. And now he's read CRR's fake challenge. A bit of a, positional fake challenge there from CRR. Not so much a lunge towards the ball, just presence, just being there. And hoping that Reysbull would panic. Reysbull has not done that. He is just composed and circling the box at the moment. And trying to keep CRR at bay, trying to make sure that he doesn't lose out on this big possession that he's built up for himself. He actually has to bail on it though. CRR threatening a demo in that position if Reysbull decided to continue contesting the ball. They have Jigsaw, Chucky, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre decals right now. There's just no way. Is this in the shop? This new goal explosion? I'm gonna need to check it out. I saw a few people. I was playing some ranked games earlier. I saw some people using it. It's a decent flick from CRR, but it's not good enough, and he's running out of time in game number 1. Reysbull just keeping the ball away from him right now. With a 2-goal lead, this is a very good thing to be doing at the end of a game. Just play keep away, because the worst thing you can do is make a risky play at the closing stages, concede once, and then end up in a kickoff position with a 1-goal advantage. It's not where you want to be in 1v1. Especially against a player like CRR, who's going to be more than willing to throw a sneaky kickoff strategy in the mix. With the 2-goal lead, Reysbull calmly closes out the game for 1-0. Lots of success for the South Americans at the moment. We've got 3-0, Card over GOM. Now we've got 1-0 Reysbull over CRR. Europe taking a bit of a beating right now. The the Chile-Brazil alliance. Sir Jaggy, thanks for the 15-month prime. Welcome back to the channel. Also, Baguette Burglar, thanks for the 7-month prime. You've got to be very careful with a name like Baguette Burglar in the Rocket League scene. You're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble with some top-tier French players and teams and fans. Just don't let the Carmine Corp fans know that you're a Baguette Burglar. Oh, that's nearly a delicious shot from Reysbull. Placed almost to perfection. He just looks, I think, a little bit more efficient than CRR right now. CRR has been, he's been explained by players like apparently Jack in the past as being a fast player. He doesn't look fast when he's playing because his average speed isn't always the fastest, but his bursts of speed are what really get him the respect of being a fast player, such as that little play we saw in the back corner there, just being in the right place at the right time, making a quick punch on the ball. But when it comes to like overall fluidity of movement and I think efficiency, I think Reysbull has him beat. So CRR's got the tricks, he's got the, he's definitely got the timing to mess with whatever opponent you put in front of him. But if Reysbull plays his game to, peak or close to peak level, I think, at least right now, he looks like the player who's going to have control of this series, even though he's down 1-0 in game 2. Yeah, Complexity do speak Spanish in their comms. Chile and Argentina are 2 countries in South America that have Spanish as the main language. Of course, it's a little bit of a different Spanish than European Spanish, but there are enough. Well, I think they're almost the same. There's just differences in certain words and phrasings. Yeah, these guys I think met at various international events. They would have been hanging out. It's also kind of cool to see, you know, Rise from Moist Esports. He lives in Portugal. He's English, but himself and his family live in Portugal, and he speaks fluent Portuguese. So at international events, he can actually talk in Portuguese to the Brazilian players, because Brazil is primarily a Portuguese-speaking country. I think it's the only Portuguese-speaking, well, at least large Portuguese-speaking country in South America. I think most of them are Spanish-speaking, if I'm not mistaken. But the three main countries for South American RLCS, oh dear, CRR's missing open net there, are Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. I think there's a couple of other countries that have representation as well, but they're the only ones that have, you know, significantly represented the upper echelons of teams throughout the last few years. European Spanish is considered proper versus South American Spanish? Well, like in the same way that British English is considered proper compared to American English, or is it is it a bigger difference? Very low scoring game here. CRR just trying to wear down Reysbull's defense. He's done it, spots him off his line, and confidently slams that open net between the posts. It's not the same. Bigger difference than English. So English between UK and America it's almost, it's not identical, I guess, because in certain accents it can sound like a different language. You know, if you listen to, I mean, Nolly doesn't have a really strong Liverpudlian accent, but if you heard a really thick Scouse accent, Liverpool accent, then you'd not have a clue what they're saying. If you're from, even from certain parts of the UK, you won't know what they're saying. Never mind America. You're just gonna have no chance to understand them. But yeah, apart from accents, I think the actual language, the rules of how to write and speak the language are pretty similar. I don't think that Liverpool is the most, or the hardest to understand in the UK though. I think the hardest to understand would probably be Northeast Scotland. That is just a different language. I mean, it completely, like, they're speaking English, but they need subtitles. They need subtitles. Welsh as well. No, I don't think Welsh is as bad as Northeast Scotland. Northeast Scotland, like Aberdeen, but like countryside Aberdeen area, like the amount of slang and the way that they speak so quickly as well. Like, they actually need subtitles IRL. So big improvement here from CRR. Getting to the final minute of game number 2 here. Scrub kickoff. Scrub's not from Aberdeen, Scrub's from Edinburgh. He's got quite an understandable Scottish accent. Most people from Edinburgh do. Actually, none of the Scottish people in the Rocket League scene have got difficult to understand accents. Well, I guess, actually, maybe Boyo Royo, a couple of people might struggle with him. I don't think his accent's that strong most of the time, but I guess I'm not the authority on that, because I'm probably going to just understand most of what he says anyway, not all. Can Reysbull finally get one through? Yes, he can. So we've got a game. With 18 seconds to go, he finally gets another goal past CRR's defense. Only his second in almost 5 minutes of gameplay. And it looks like it might be all he gets, because this is not an ideal scenario after the kickoff. CRR's in full control. He's just going to take the ball with him wherever he wants. And if he's trying to be smart here, he doesn't shoot, and that's exactly what he's done. He just runs it into the sidewall, as he realized the only way that he can lose this game is if he misses a shot and Reysbull counterattacks him and then scores a kickoff goal. So great slow play there from CRR, guaranteeing the win and tying up the series. Taking a quick look at my clock. Yeah, it looks like even if we go to game 5 here with overtimes, we're probably still going to be on time for the Zapatos Jan match after this. Tony sounds Canadian. I definitely don't. I've heard Canadians speak, and I don't sound like them. I don't sound like any Canadian I've ever met. CRR already with a big chance, but he's gone for goal there in a position that might have been better to try and just force a bad save from Reysbull. Reysbull naturally saving that in the direction that clears the ball away from CRR. Something you always want to consider when you're playing ones is, where can I shoot this ball to force them to clear it towards me? It's often a good idea to do that, so you can take the boost and then collect the ball afterwards. Look at the spacing. It's little things like this that I was talking about with CRR. You know, I think Reysbull's got him in terms of pace, but CRR's timing is very, very, very hard to get a read on. He just waited and waited there with 50-50. Went straight through Reysbull. Scored the goal. It is worth mentioning on the open net again. CRR just going again. Reysbull gonna get a bit frustrated here. He just keeps on getting shut down. His offense not working out as well as it did in game number 1. Now he's got a chance to make up for it. Tried to wave dash the ball past CRR, who's read him brilliantly there. CRR already able to transition into a counter attack, but it's fizzled. And it's Reysbull's turn once again. Air dribble right into the brick wall that is CRR's defense right now. You know, did CRR just lean forward in his chair since game 2 started, or has he really just got a better read on Reysbull now? Because he is shutting Reysbull's offense down consistently. He's challenging whenever he sees an opportunity to do so, but even when he is forced onto the back foot, he's had great reads, he's had great goal line saves. His positioning has been absolutely fantastic. That's a decent bounce for CRR. Reysbull's going to need to jump up for this one. Looks like the double was on. CRR unable to make contact. Reysbull eventually gets his first goal of the game. He's had plenty of chances at the end of the last game, and at the start of this one, he just hasn't been able to figure out whether or not CRR is challenging for the most time. And, it's crucial that he did there. So if he didn't, I'm sure CRR would have absolutely crunched the challenge. He really does not like to go for big blocks, big dunks. He just goes for the ball when he challenges. He just goes right for it. And CRR's bumped Reysbull into knocking the ball clear there. Now Reysbull bumps CRR away from the play and circles back around to almost score on the open net, but CRR darts back, closes the door on that one. Reysbull with a slight touch redirects the ball into the back end of his own corner. End-to-end stuff. Slow air dribble for Reysbull. This one does have a bump on the end of it, and he'll lead just before half-time. Looked like he might be just going for a standard air dribble there, but look how he's leaned at the last second there to completely deny CRR the contact in the ball that he was looking for. Reysbull's wave dash recovery kickoff, not going to get him back to the ball before CRR picks up the boost. It's going to allow him to pressure the ball though. CRR taking it to the corner again. There was no boost for him to pick up there. He's already got 100 from earlier though. Reysbull knew, he just knew that if he left that one up near the wall, CRR would go for it, but I don't think Reysbull calculated correctly here. Don't think he realized that CRR was actually beating him to the boost there. CRR has overhit another open net. Reysbull's still in a bit of trouble with his boost. It doesn't actually work out in CRR's favor at all. And he's going to be frustrated there because he had an open net. He rolled it across the face of the goal, and then he left the window open for Reysbull to go past him there. I think if CRR just challenges goal side, he's probably going to have Reysbull under pressure for an extended period of time. And that is not what transpired. Reysbull reads another early challenge. Great stuff from Reysbull. This is what CRR was working really well with earlier on. Just challenging and challenging and challenging and surprising Reysbull, finding angles that he can connect up with the ball. Right now Reysbull has decided to just play it quickly. As soon as he sees CRR turning, he's playing the shot. Great block by Reysbull. He's got the back corner boost as well. Pre-flip into position to set up the shot, which is a good one. 5-1. Riaz Tyler, thanks for the prime. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Reysbull versus Naipo. I don't know if Reysbull plays on EU server because I think he's in Texas. At least that's, I think, where the Complexity team house was for the Complexity players at the end of last season. And most people in Texas do not play EU servers at all. fact that it's just a bit too far away from Europe. You kind of get like 120 ping. Not the most stable connection as well. But what a back and forth series we're seeing here. Reysbull relatively comfortable in game one. I don't want to say very comfortable because it was just a 2-goal game, but I think he was quite comfortable holding on to that 2-goal advantage at the end of the game. And then suddenly CRR completely turns it around to game 2 by improving his success rate for saving Reysbull's shots significantly, and somehow Reysbull's managed to turn that back around on him. I think the main contributor of that is that Reysbull has just started to play the ball a little bit sooner on most of his attacks. You realize that when he's slow playing, when he's trying to build an attack from his own half, he was susceptible to early challenges more often than not. So we're seeing a lot more moves from Reysbull, just quick moves where he just gets the ball on top of his car. As soon as CRR comes towards him, he flicks it. Because worst case scenario, you're forcing CRR back. Best case scenario, you've got a goal. And you don't need to make a big mechanical play to make it happen as well. Speaking of big mechanical plays, Reysbull flying up to the ceiling to get his flip. And had the open net staring at him when he got it. CRR is just going to change car before we get into the next game here. Reysbull on double match point. Very interesting series. I'm curious to see what car CRR is going to bring in here. He's known to be an Octane player and a Fennec player at times, so a Brazil from a Chilean, no, not today. No, Jans Batos is going to be starting in 23 minutes. We've got enough time to finish off CRR Reysbull, and then we're going to be jumping into the final match of tonight. I love that Psyonix have increased the time between a player joining the match and the game starting to allow for just, a pause there, because obviously you don't want to play 1v0 most of the time when there are people in spectate. Is CRR mad? Unlikely. I'm sure he's not mad about losing to his teammate, but he won't be thrilled. He won't be thrilled. CRR is a very competitive guy. Definitely a very confident guy as well. I think his biggest frustration about last game will be that it just wasn't close. He'll probably try to be a bit more passive with his defense in game number 4. Of course, as always, looking for opportunities to challenge when he can, but not trying to do it from too deep with big run-ups, because whenever he does do it with a big run-up, Reysbull spots him and flicks the ball over him or just shoots straight past him first time. Lovely finish there by Reysbull. Clinical. Just 40 seconds into game 4. He's already on the board. Remember, Reysbull was unable to score for a really, really long time. At the end of game number 2, even for a minute and a bit, maybe 90 seconds into game 3 as well, Reysbull only scored 1 goal. He scored 1 goal, opened the scoring, of course, in game 3. And he scored 1 goal at the tail end of game number 2 as well. So that was a total, probably a 5-minute window between 2 games that Reysbull only scored twice. And for him to now just find a way to create realistic chances without putting himself at any risk whatsoever is very impressive. It shows, like I said in the card series, these guys are not just all about the big mechanical plays. Of course, they've got them when they want to go for them, but there's more to 1v1 than a big flashy flip reset goal with a cool flick at the end of it. You've got to know how to position. You've got to know how to read your opponent's challenges. You've got to know how to manage your boost. You've got to know how to pressure the ball. And Reysbull, without really upping the ante on any of his offensive plays, without really having to go for any additional risk in his strategy, completely turned the tide of this matchup, and still, I think, looks to have a very good advantage for himself. Johnny Quantum, thanks for the 3-month prime. Welcome back to the channel. Are you in silver? Yeah, it looks like you are. Yeah, it looks like the 3-month badge is a silver reward, so congratulations. Eros RL, thanks for the 13-month tier 1 as well. Really appreciate you. We are still waiting for CRR's first goal of the game. That's a stunning ceiling challenge from Reysbull. So smooth, so quick with it. I think CRR might be able to get back. Yes, he will. To save the open net shot from Reysbull, which proved to be a bit too slow to cross the line before it got saved by his teammate CRR. Reysbull has just been on a different level at the moment. Tries to go for a catch and a pop into the net. CRR denies it. Reysbull darting back quickly to stop the counter-attack. CRR, as he often does, trying to get that next shot off as quickly as possible. Reysbull was all over it though. Oh, hold on. Well, that was almost in. Still 3 minutes without a goal for CRR. I talked about how Reysbull was able to increase his chance to goal ratio without really going more aggressively for any of his shots. When will CRR decide to do the same thing? Reysbull beats him to the punch again, and he puts himself up by 2. This is just another example of Reysbull. As soon as he sees CRR, he flicks the ball, and look what happens. He just has an opportunity on net afterwards. You know, these early flicks are a wonderful thing. In fact, a critical thing to know how to do in 1v1. As soon as you see an aggressive player challenging you, as soon as you see them turning, flick the ball. Just flick it, because best case scenario, you're scoring. Worst case scenario, they've got to go back and get the ball, and now you're not going to be challenged and getting dunked on. It's just a far better situation to flick early. Now Reysbull is actually reading a fake from CRR. I think he's just flicked the ball past CRR so many times that now he anticipates CRR's switch up. Reysbull puts in a third goal post and in. Can he keep CRR scoreless? I mean, you guys wonder sometimes, will teammates really go at it with no mercy? I think the answer is yes in this case. Reysbull trying to completely granny CRR. Not sure what you guys call that in your respective countries, but beating someone in a game while preventing them from scoring at all would be grannying them in Scotland. And we were talking about this with CJ's dad in Texas for the World Championship. He nearly lost a game. Well, he was losing a game of pool to Cole, the caster Cole. Cole, I think, potted 5 in a row. So he had 2 left and the black, and it was on. He could have done it. And that's when CJ's dad revealed the Australian version of grannying, beating somebody without them scoring anything. It's apparently pantsing. He exclaimed in horror, "I'm about to get pantsed. He's about to pants me." Which I thought was very funny. And I'm sorry for all of you who want me to play by play, but I just had to get that story out for you guys before I forget. And now here we are at the end of the game. CRR is about to get pantsed by Reysbull. Is he going to go for it? No, he doesn't want to get pantsed! And he won't! He puts in one! Oh, that's huge! Reysbull writes Respetar los Orangos, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. Somebody read that. Somebody speak Spanish. Help me out here. Does that mean something like here, have a consolation goal? Respect the ranks. Respect the ranks. Oh, Reysbull showing CRR who's the boss here. CRR might be the hot new transfer, you know, the new player on the block, but Reysbull 3-1s him. And he had, I think, the better of CRR in that first game, just purely based off his speed, how fluid his movement was. He was just a bit quicker, a bit more controlled, definitely more efficient. But even when CRR started to get the edge with his tricks, with his timing, Reysbull showed us that once again he is able to adapt. And this is something I've seen every time I've seen Reysbull play a series against somebody. He does adapt. He does know how to play at different paces, and he does know how to play different styles. So fantastic from him. CRR drops 3-1. No pantsing though. I'm a bit disappointed we didn't see Reysbull granny CRR there. I think he definitely could have if he wanted to. He just left the ball once it was game over. He just left the ball to CRR to do whatever he wanted.